What's up guys, in today's video I'll be showing you the best beginner's guide for Roblox Dawn of Aurora. It seems really complicated at first with factions, loads of currencies, types of weapons, and even jobs or quests at least. I'll give you solid tips and tricks, teach you combat strategies, and even if you're an experienced player, you might learn a thing or two. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Now once you get in the game, you'll see three teams. You have the Outsider, which is best for learning combat, money basics, and the map as a beginner. It's also the best team to pick if you're just starting out, since it can get you easy early game money and let you explore the game. Then you have Citizen. While there's not much to do as a citizen currently, apart from an area to mine and the pizza job, it's still a great way to farm passive money and XP, which we'll get to in a bit. Now, Criminal and Fear are what you should definitely avoid if you just started out. It's basically cops and robbers like you've seen in games like Mad City and Jailbreak. They have their own advantages that I've already listed in the XP farming video, which you should totally watch by the way. But we'll get to both teams in depth later on. And there's also the one that we don't talk about. So starting off as an outsider, you'll first spawn in this building here. Right off the bat, you can see your HP and shield here, as well as the stamina bar below them, a mode to turn passive or hostile towards team members, your hotbar here, and the minimap. You've also got quick icons to your inventory, profile, progression, team selection, and the store, as well as your reputation system and the XP bar on the bottom here. You can also click here to hide the minimap if you want a cleaner HUD. Now, if you look behind, you'll see level rewards. Level rewards, or let's call them prestige equipment, are basically level lock rewards that you'll be grinding towards early game. It acts as this game's battle pass. The weapons have infinite durability, infinite ammo, and are some of the best weapons in the game right now. Now, you'll especially need the Peacekeeper and Spectre over here, since they're currently the best automatics in the game, as well as a free car, but that's much further in the tracker. Now, once you leave the building, you'll be in Rushtown. Rushtown is basically your starter town. Here, you'll find a global storage. Items stored here can be accessed from any global storage point, and it stores anything except the prestige items. Now, be careful not to overflow the storage pages, as any items sent to the storage directly will be lost forever. All these icons you see here are the locations you can either enter or rob, which are basically all the heists in the game. Now onto the currencies in the game. When you start off, you'll see Visa. Visa is used to buy equipments like guns, vehicles, and items from vendors, and serves as a general currency used in game. The yellow hexagon here is your Orium, which is used to buy all kinds of cosmetics, including clothing, skins, and even armor. And then there's Scrap, which can be used to buy worn items, as well as repairing your guns and vehicles, but we'll learn more about that later. One of the key mechanics in the game is the progression system, which you can find right here. This XP tracker rewards you different items as you level up, mostly just tiny amounts of Visa, Orium, and cosmetics. Here you'll also find medals. These give purely cosmetics, such as skins as well as Orium. Now there are medals for different activities throughout the game, but you're gonna want to focus on progression tracker, as you'll earn the medals passively as you keep playing anyway. Now that we've discussed the key mechanics, the first thing you're gonna want to do is come to this board here and join the Roblox F.E.A.R group. Once you're in the group, you can start earning group XP. The group rank rewards are absolutely worth it, allowing you to not only get a bunch of money and Orium, but also a legendary armor and a legendary squad truck through the last attainable rank in Dawn of Aurora. For further ranks, you'll want to join the F.E.A.R Discord and attend the F.E.A.R related events. You can find the Discord links in the description. Since you start off with nothing, here's what your starter loadout should look like. You'll want automatics in your first two slots, like an AR and an SMG. Then I'd recommend a shotgun as your third, then a high damage revolver like the Executioner or the new Deagle, then a sniper as your fifth. And for your sixth slot, you can have anything, another sniper, an explosive, a vehicle, anything works here. You should always change up your sixth hotbar depending on the situation you're in, whether you're in PvP, PvE, things like that, just to get the situation specific edge. For your healing items, I'll always recommend opening your inventory, equipping the healing item, and using them directly like this. The only reason you should have them in your hotbar is if you're mutant hunting, since there's not really a challenge, but stick to this loadout if you're just a starter, and then experiment for yourself for what works and what doesn't for you. Moving on to NPCs, come over here to the gun shop. As we've just discussed the starter loadout, you'll see Daryl. Now once you talk to him, you'll see his store. You'll see different rarities here ranging from common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and worn. Now this rarity system is not just limited to guns. Rarities apply to all types of items in the game as well as vehicles. What I'd recommend is sticking to common and uncommon until you can get rare, then going straight for legendaries. Epics are practically useless in the game at the moment, and we'll get to worn items in a bit. There are also ammo types here, ranging from shells used for shotguns, special for special items, heavy for heavier weapons like snipers and machine guns, and explosives for RPGs. There were also two additional types, medium and small, but they've currently been removed for the time being. There's also the sell and repair tab here. Now I never recommend selling guns or any items in general because you'll barely get pennies for selling something you bought for millions. You can repair any types of items here except worn items through the repair tab here. There's also the legendary weapons vendor shop here where you can instantly buy any legendary weapon at a higher price than Daryl or the black market. Obviously if you just started out, you definitely shouldn't waste extra money on these. They're basically twice the price compared to getting them from those two. Just have some patience and keep rejoining and you'll get the item you need from the other two in about 10 minutes or so. Now moving on to the dock here. He sells all healing items in the game. Now never ever buy medkits, jump boosts, or barriers since you already passively regenerate HP when you're not in combat, and barriers might as well be a joke. What you do want to pick up is shields. I recommend picking up only shields if you're running low on visa because trauma kits and regenerations can be pretty costly, and you should only stick with epic and legendary versions for these. And then just in front you'll find Griffin's scrap. Now worn items and scraps are a whole other thing, but you can just read it from this board here. But basically worn items is just another weapon rarity that has the same stats as legendary weapons, but it has absolutely no durability and can't be repaired. Scrap is used for repairing your weapons and buying worn items, but since the new update, almost all common weapons do basically the same damage as legendaries, so they're sort of pointless now. I swear the dev just sucks at balancing this game, man. Worn items though could have some use if you get them for free, but other than that, you're gonna want to stick with rarity progression and use scrap just to repair your equipment instead. On the corner here, you can find the pub as well as recycled threads. You can buy food items as well as rob the pub. It also doubles as a great role-playing spot. Can I get a beer, please? Yeah, my wife just left me. She took the kids. You can buy Wastelander clothing from the recycled store. And now coming all the way back to the town hall, you can find Dizzy's Auto Body, which sells vehicles. You can buy all sorts of vehicles from here, common, legendaries, and you'll also find a free junker here that you can use, which spawns back here if you were to lose it. Now last but not least is my boy Walt, who you can use to buy exploration and mining equipment from. You won't ever need these since you already get a shovel and pickaxe in your team keybinds if you're an outsider. The rarities for these are based on your group rank. You'll notice there are a lot of oversights by the devs that make some creatures practically useless. I mean, my boy doesn't even have a shop yet. He's been standing here for 6 years now. And that covers the starter Rushdown. If this is your first time playing, please invest your time in exploration first because this game is absolutely made for it. Exploring the post-apocalyptic wasteland and then going into Aurora is something you'll never experience again. I mean, look at this. It's f***ing gorgeous. Now, the safest and best ways to get early game visa are quests currently aren't that deep and only serve to teach the player basics of combat, border crossing, mutant hunting, and mining for outsiders. You can also see different quests and jobs for different factions here. Right now only Outsider and F.E.A.R have fleshed out quests, and currently only Citizens have a job system, which isn't really that deep either. They did have plans for making it more detailed and lucrative, where you can set the difficulty yourself for more rewards and such, but there's no ETA whether that ever comes out or not. Here's a quick time lapse of me completing all the beginner quests for every team in game currently, if you needed help completing any of them. Once you've finished all the current beginner quests, you'll have about 20k visa and a ton of equipment, which is a great starting point, and you probably learned how the basics work. Now from these, I recommend using the rare Wugo till you get a better vehicle, as it hovers and it's great for wasteland, and also being relatively fast, allowing for a smaller hitbox if you get into chases and gunfights. Now you can use all of these weapons, but having a good starter loadout will help you a lot. Which brings us to the starter farming methods to help you get there, which are mining and mutant hunting. Mining is the safest option here. There's no combat, you just mine ores and sell them, and you should definitely do it in the Aurora mine rather than the Leviathan mines, because the dude you sell to is much closer and you get more rare ores here. As for mutant hunting, since the new car PvP, you can just drive around and shoot the mutants and then exit the car to pick up loot. This works great with the Vugo I just mentioned if you don't have any other car, as well as exploring buildings for loot boxes. Also, if your car gets stalled for whatever reason and blows up, do not panic. It will regenerate back into your inventory after some time, and you'll need to repair it using scrap to use it again. I'd recommend doing either until you either have a full rare loadout or at least the Peacekeeper, so you can actually stand a chance against these sweats early game. Now let me list some quick tips before we move on to other factions. Always buy your nitro from Hoverpunk. It's way cheaper and a great way to start saving early on. It takes like 5 seconds to get to. Definitely don't join hostile teams directly. Like I said at the beginning of the video, since the game is full of sweat and you'll get folded immediately, that will definitely ruin your experience if you just started out. Do not buy junk early on. Things like medkits, food items, and barriers are useless. Trust me, you'll almost never need these. And lastly, do not wander into high level mutant zones. While they're definitely not as bad as they used to be, they can still pose a major threat if you just started to learn the combat, and you will get overwhelmed quickly. And that's about it. If you have any more beginner tips, feel free to list them in the comments. Now let's move on to F.E.A.R. I'd definitely rank F.E.A.R over criminals if you're a starter, since you can get group rewards and also have access to the taser, which totally won't get you yelled at by sweaty teenagers. Just stick to using the taser to stun and then arresting them. And if you get against the group, then yikes. If you keep getting blasted, just stick to processing people through the border instead. Since the new update, you can process NPCs now, which is a great way to passively earn group XP and visa if you don't want to engage in combat. It's pretty easy. If you played Papers, Please, it's basically just that. I'll probably make a PvP guide soon, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for it. Now, the F.E.A.R hub kind of mirrors Rushtown, since you've got armory over there, medic over there, cosmetics over here, and scrap vendor right here. So be sure to stock up before heading out to catch some criminals. Now, if you look over here, you'll see the Task Force Game Pass. I'll link a Game Pass review by Jesus in the description. It's really good if you're thinking of buying it, and it covers everything you need to know. I'm not sure if I'll cover the Game Pass anytime soon, so you should definitely check out that video. Speaking of Game Passes, there are currently 4 Game Passes right now. In my opinion, only one is fully worth it, and that's the Duffel Bag. The Duffel Bag Game Pass gives 1.5 times more visa through robberies. You might think that isn't a lot for the price, but it definitely stacks up. And if you've seen the XP farming video, you know it not only gives the highest amount of XP in the game, but also the highest amount of money. Now, as for Nitro and Vico Radio, they're pretty mid. Since the Roblox audio apocalypse, you practically can't play anything, so it's pretty useless, and the amount of Nitro you already have is pretty good, so why would you want to double it for almost the same price as Duffel Bag, which is way better? Moving on to Citizen. If you don't have enough reputation to directly be Citizen from the tab, be an outsider, go to the immigration center and store all your contraband in the global storage here. Get the password from the lady right here and go to the circle. Now, if there's no one to process you, since you know, the game isn't very popular, you can just automatically get processed now. It takes longer, but hey, at least you can get processed now. You'll instantly realize there's not really much to do as a citizen. The only things to do are the Aurora mines or the pizza job, which are pretty decent, but definitely not worth your time investment. They're good for early XP and visa, and you can trade the pizza tokens for some pretty good cosmetics, but the exchange rate for visa isn't really that great. Now moving on to the last class we'll be covering, and that's Being a criminal is going to be pretty hard when you just started out, and if you still want to, then stick with small-time robberies like the pub in Rustown and the McDonald's or the new Leaf Market in Aurora. Now, if you're aiming towards bigger robberies like the F.E.A.R HQ or Hive, you're going to need the requirements the heist needs, which are the hacking device and the C4. You can get those from the black market dude right here. You'll find black market from any criminal hideout or literally just from the raid supplies outside the heists, which makes so much sense. Heavily would not recommend doing these on your own if you're a noob. You're going to get clapped instantly. Stick to Bank of Aurora or Venezia, since the other heists have a very tanky boss and goons that will melt you down instantly. Like I said, doing these alone is a death sentence. If you see an alt farming session, since they're usually hosted by pretty endgame players, and they'll probably keep the sweats off you. Alternatively, you can also join my Discord server where we host regular alt farming sessions if you're looking for easy cash. Anyways, that brings us to the end of the guide. The game does a good enough job to start off as a beginner with the new updates, but more jobs and quests or even difficulty scaling quests would definitely be a good implementation. If the devs release the dungeons, proper boss fights, and the housing update in the future, remains to be seen. But at the end of the day, all that matters is you have fun with the game, so play at any pace you want to. It's literally a Roblox game, so just have fun and advance at your own pace. And yeah, that's about it.